I'm just going to use this then.
Got the robot dick.
Apparently that, yeah. So, Joseph Luciano, how are you doing here? You've arrived. You got the call on 2 weeks' notice to be in London, make your Bellator debut. So, how did that all go for you? Like,
look, it's not a short trip coming out here. It's 32 hours for us. Yeah. Door to door. I said to my cornerman I brought out with me, we'll time it door to door, and it was 32 hours. But I'm happy to be here. We got in here on Saturday last week, and yeah, it's a bit of a different time zone. But if you plan it right, acclimatized, all good. And the weather's the same as Melbourne. People think Australia, they think sunny and the Great Barrier Reef. But where I'm from is pretty cold and miserable. So
I've heard that from there. Wasn't the Hex there recently?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the last one.
Exactly,
yeah, everyone, people who flew in that I know from far away, they're like, okay,
the weather's not much chop. Yeah.
Or like 4 seasons in one day,
correct,
and stuff like that.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna silence my phone. I realized I didn't do that. But yeah, and it's was this something that you were expecting? This call?
Look, my management had been in touch with Bellator and PFL, obviously with them coming to Oz later in the year. Next year. That's a viable option, and there had been communication before, so we're on each other's radar, you could say.
Yeah, of course, and that's something that you bring up now. Like there's been a better eye on Australian MMA, just like Oceania in general.
For sure.
And they've been like, all the organizations have been scouting talent from there and stuff. Like, what do you attribute the growth of the sport to?
Look, I think Australia and New Zealand have always punched really, really above their weight in any sport we've done. So we've got small populations but great athletes. It's just a matter of time until big organisations have picked us up. And, you've got your Volkanovskis, your Whitakers at the top, and then, there's guys in ONE, there's guys in Bellator, all over the world. We've got a chick in Octagon as well. So it's just small region, small scene, but a lot of talent. So it's just a matter of time before we filter through.
And do you feel like, because I do feel like you guys have to go through the ringer, and it's a way harder road to get to these big organizations. Even when you get the opportunity, they give you tough opponents. I noticed this. I told my friend who fights Drop Bear, Daniel Curtis, So I was like, we always, like, Dana White's Contender Series, we're watching it, and I'm like, why do the Aussies always seem to get the hardest opponents on paper? And they come through, but there's a lot of people that get layups.
It's funny, I think. From a logical standpoint, it'd be we've got a small market, right? So you don't need to push that many fighters to secure the market. Perhaps whereas, the European fan base is huge, so you might want 25, 30 Europeans, but 3 Aussies will do our scene. So maybe they put us through a bit more of a ringer, but we're definitely up for it.
Because the market is smaller.
Yeah.
But it's a big region, though, too.
Yeah. It's a big region, but small population.
Yeah. And you've got like a couple of big shows there, and you fought on Eternal.
Correct.
And that's like the big one, they say, yeah. And then you went to Hex. Like, how did that happen? Why did you decide to take the risk to go to Hex?
Any fight's a risk, and you want to be the best in the scene, and you want to fight the guys and capture all the belts. There's three or four top organizations in the country, and I feel that if you can dominate them all, obviously you're the top dog, right?
Yeah, so you just wanted all the belts.
Correct.
That's what it is, and all the competition. Yeah, so it worked out very well. Your record speaks for itself. And there's a lot of submissions on there.
Yeah.
Have you been starting to fall in love with your hands a little bit?
It's funny, man. When I started this, I only did Muay Thai. I never wanted to do MMA. Yeah. And in my amateur career, I never even did jiu-jitsu.
That's crazy, though.
I just wrestled and did Muay Thai. Yeah. And the bigger gloves we had to wear, I couldn't really submit anyone with them on, so I was just punching on. And then as I've gone pro with the 4s, you can just slip the chokes in so easy. And look, I moved gyms and started doing jiu-jitsu, so that's probably something's helped there, right?
So it's the other way around, and you had the hands, and then you fell in love with the submissions.
Correct.
But it's just coming so easy. Well, it's not that it's easy, but it's like, it's just, when you look at the record
as
well.
For sure. I got a lot of subs on there, but I think, I heard them a bit first, and then the sub comes. It's not just straight on the sub. So it's interesting how it works out for sure. And
your opponent's a local guy, so what do you make of him? Like, have you looked at him? You haven't had much time, of course,
Nah,
to look at it.
and that goes both ways. He hasn't had much time to look at me either. So,
True.
Look, I think my record speaks for itself, the quality of our scene, and I'm happy to back myself wherever I go. Stephen's obviously a talented dude. He's got a great record too, and the strength of the UK scene's very legit. So, it'll be an interesting fight, and I'm keen to show what us Aussies are made of out here.
Mm-hmm. And do you expect to be in enemy territory? Do you expect
100%? I think the UK sports fans are the best in the world.
Yeah.
Whether it's football or cricket or anything, they're such passionate supporters. So I'll probably be on the brunt of a few boos, but I expect that. I've fought all around the world before and been yelled at and called names, and I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah. Do you? So how does that? How does that energy feed you, or like how do you react to that energy?
There's nothing.
You're used to it.
Yeah, for sure. There's nothing better than spoiling someone's party, I think.
Yeah. that's the motivation.
Yeah, for sure. Like
kill their dreams.
Yeah, I think some people that can take away from them, having that intensity thrown at them. But for me, I cherish that. I think it's a bit of a laugh, really.
Yeah. Do you ever like what do you do on the so actually okay because this is a short notice call up and stuff, like what are the benefits of that, because people always talk about the negatives of it and stuff like.
Well, I actually was, when I got the call up, I was in bed after a fight the night before I fought, and then woke up to the call up. So I had been through a camp, and I had a fight booked 5 weeks after that, so I was prepared to go into a camp as well. So it's kind of the perfect storm for me, really. The only benefits, and it's a benefit and a positive, negative each way for both Stephen and myself, you didn't have a camp to prepare for the guy.
Yeah.
Now, you could say his last opponent was similar to me, and my opponent that I had coming forward was similar to him too. So it's going to be very interesting to see who can adapt on the fly.
He lost against that opponent, so
we'll see.
Yeah. Anything else you're looking forward to doing in London?
Look,
right now?
I actually spent 3 years here when I was a kid. My mum's a POM. We call English people POMs, prisoners of Mother England. So I've lived in London. My grandparents are from the East End of London, so I've been here before, and all my cousins are coming to the fight. All my family's still here. Yeah, so it's not complete enemy territory, but I wouldn't mind getting around and maybe seeing Big Ben and that sort of stuff, enjoying some local cuisine.
Is that all before the fight? Or do you have a day after?
I'll do that after the fight.
So you did like keep a couple of days.
Correct.
A lot of people don't do that. That's I think that's important, because you need to like sort of cherish all those little moments in your career. And it's not just the fighting.
100%, man. 100%. Like
better.
I fought in the Middle East, and I always made sure I had 2 days after to go around and soak up, the local souk and everything, and really enjoy myself. And the fighting is the most important thing, and nothing exists outside of that until the task is done. But fuck, you got to decompress some way, right?
Yeah, imagine like you come to the later end of your career and you just didn't enjoy that stuff, and you start regretting it with all the travel you get to do that's paid for. Man. So
spot on.
So POM, that's a new word. I always try to learn the new Aussie word.
You're probably going to need subtitles for me on this with my accent, mate. But hopefully we're right.
I've been baptized by like shoeies and Tim Tam slams and stuff.
Right, sweet.
It's because Aussies I know, like they always bring like gifts and stuff for people and stuff. So like the Tim Tam slam. Have you?
Man. Tim Tams are awesome. I'll eat a packet a night if I get the chance.
Afterwards, hopefully, we do a shoey though.
No, I'm not much of a drinker.
You're not
so
a drinker. Okay.
Look, depending on how it goes, we'll see. But I might have a few cheeky Guinnesses, but they won't be out of my shoe. I tell you that much.
All right. How about how do you see this fight going? So it's
Okay, I see the first round being a little bit of a feel-out process. I think he's going to expose himself and his intentions, and then I'm going to be able to capitalize on that in the second round.
All right.
I always go to finish, man. I always go to finish. So,
thanks a lot, then. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Rooting for you.
Appreciate it.
Do you have any message for the people back home?
I don't know. I think I'm the first Aussie to get signed to Bellator since the merger, so... get down, support us, both Sarah and I, big Aussie contingent here, and kicking ass on the global scene for sure.
Hell yeah.
Legend, man.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.